Now, I've been playing Anthem for what's going on 3 weeks, and I'm really enjoying the game. But I've noticed through watching videos and reviews that many people hate the story in this game, and I don't know why. I don't think it's really that bad. Now, does it have problems? Yes. Is there some issues? Yes. But is it a bad story? No. But does it stand up as a BioWare story? Well, many will say no, but I say yes. Let me explain why. Now, before I get started, I just want to let everybody know that I will be spoiling certain parts of the main and side stories in this video. So if you haven't played through all the story in Anthem yet, I would highly suggest you do that first before watching this video. Okay, so I am a huge BioWare fan. In fact, I still play through all the Old Republic games and all the Mass Effect games. Except for, the one we don't talk about. Now, the reason I still play these games is not because of the gameplay. Although the gameplay is very enjoyable, there's much better out there. No, I come back to these games over and over again because of the story. The story in these games pull you in. You want to know about the world. You want to know about the characters. You want to interact with them. And then you want to see what happens after you do. How do they change because of how you talk to them or what you ask them to do? All that is played out in front of you in those games. And you know what? The same thing happens in Anthem too. Now, to show you an example of this, let's compare Anthem to another good game of BioWare's, Mass Effect. When playing through Mass Effect, you can get a clear view of the formula that BioWare likes to use when it comes to storytelling in their games. First, they introduce you to the world and to the characters. Then, slowly, as you play through the game, they unlock more and more of the main and side stories to you. For instance, in Mass Effect, as you do missions, you come back and you talk to your crew. So maybe you'll do a mission, come back, talk to Joker and Garrus. Do another mission, come back, talk to Rex and Tali. As you are doing this, more and more choices are also given to you. Choices that matter. You may talk to Garrus about something now, and then come back in a couple of missions, and his whole idea on what you were talking about could change because of what you said. Now, this also affects the main story too. Some small choice by the end of the game could have a big effect. You having a good relationship with Rex could save his life by the end of the game. Now, is any of this in Anthem? Yes and no. In Anthem, you're still introduced into the world, and then right after that, introduced to characters, and then slowly, as you play through the game, more and more of the main and side stories are unlocked. But the choices are what is different. You see, because this game is a shared world looter shooter, not a single player RPG like Mass Effect, you can't have single decisions drastically changing the main story, because the main story is shared amongst a large group of people. But you can have decisions changing side story, which is in this game. Your decisions in the side story with the side characters do matter and can have consequences. The problem is they're just not as big or drastic as the consequences in the other games, but they are there. Now, another thing that BioWare does is write the main character into a position that matches the decisions that they have to make in the game. Now, in many of their games, like Mass Effect or Dragon Age, your character is in charge. You're the captain, you're the commander, you're the boss. So it makes sense that you're making life or death decisions that affect the whole entire group, because that's your call. You're the one in charge. As a result of this, many BioWare fans are used to playing as a character who is in a position of authority and can make these big decisions. Now in Anthem, your decisions have changed because your character's position has changed. You're no longer the character that's in charge. You're no longer the person that's giving all the orders. In fact, you're taking orders now. And if you're not taking orders, you're on the same level as everybody else around you. You're no longer surrounded by soldiers under your command. You're surrounded by friends, colleagues, and neighbors. Because of this, the way your decisions are displayed have been changed. You're no longer mostly giving orders, you're giving advice. You see, this takes away a level of control that we have not just over the main character, but over the side characters too. And fans of BioWare are not used to this. You see, normally BioWare lets us control everything. We decide who goes where, who does what, who lives or dies. In a way, we tell the story. But in Anthem, BioWare is telling the story. And I think this is what's hurting the story for many people. You see, they're so used to being in that position of control, in a position to where they basically tell the story, that now they can't fully enjoy the story because their control is gone. You see, I believe this because the only thing missing from the story is that full control. Everything else is here. We still have an interesting story that we get to enjoy, and we still get to meet interesting and cool characters and interact with them. Now, I understand that this story is not perfect. It's definitely not the best that BioWare can do. Also, some of the characters just aren't that interesting. In fact, some of them don't even need to be in the game. You know, like the thunder salesman who goes on and on about how he sells the thunder and how you need to bring the thunder to battle. But then he never has anything even remotely close or resembling thunder to sell you. Or the character Gunther. You can encourage him to open up a clothing store in the fort. It gets burnt down by accident, by him, and then you can encourage him to either stay and rebuild it with his partner or leave. That's it. It's not very interesting. But there's only a few characters I feel are like this. For the most part, the characters are interesting and you will want to hear their story. But I gotta say this. That ending, that is a bad ending. It starts off okay. You know, he's challenging, but not too challenging. You're having fun figuring out all his different move patterns. You go from different areas, chasing him down. You finally get his health whittled down. You're just about to finish him off, and really? I mean, just really? You hit him with a Strider. That's how you finish off the main villain of the game. You hit him with a Strider. Not my character finishes him off in some cool, fantastic way. You hit him with a Strider that comes out of nowhere. Yeah. Don't know what they were thinking with that one. So, in conclusion, Anthem's story, although not perfect, it's not bad. And it still holds up as a BioWare story. It's just told a little differently than many fans of BioWare are used to. Thanks for watching. You know, I really do enjoy this game, and I do plan on making more videos about it in the future. In fact, I'm currently working on a gameplay one now. So if you did enjoy, please stay tuned. I do plan on having more up on the channel soon. But until next time, have a nice day.